Search for the Hidden Throne, Book 3 of the Guardians of Time series by Phyllis Wheeler. Narrated by Keith A. Robinson. Chapter 1. St. Louis, Missouri, 2020s. Will was the kind of friend who just showed up sometimes. In fact, since he was a time traveler, he'd show up out of thin air. I never got used to it. On a misty June morning, I stood in our small St. Louis suburban backyard, tossing a tennis ball for my dog Nicky to fetch. My twin Ava was in the house somewhere. The smell of coffee floated out of the kitchen window, which meant that Dad might be cooking breakfast soon. Right after I tossed the ball, Will popped into view beside Nicky. I yelped and stepped backward. Will grinned. "Hey, Jake." He used a little basket on a handle to nab the ball before it reached Nicky's open mouth. Nicky wasn't surprised. In fact, seeing Will, he wagged himself all over. "And now you're into stealing balls from little dogs?" I asked. His sudden appearance made my heart pound, but I had to grin back. I cuffed him on the shoulder. Will plucked the ball out of his basket and tossed it to Nicky. "I have a homeschool project. Dad sent me here to look for clues." He and his dad originally also lived in St. Louis in the present day, but now they'd moved to a village that stood here 800 years ago. Somehow they kept up the homeschooling, while Will did a lot of time traveling. Educational, I suppose. "Clues?" I asked. "Yeah, clues about the Indians, Native Americans, who built a big city near here 800 years ago. I need to find out what's left of that city in the present day." "I haven't seen any clues on that," I said. "Now that I've been living among those people, I've noticed some things that look familiar from our time." He twirled the stick with basket attached. "Like this. It's a game you and I might play, called lacrosse. Some schools have lacrosse teams. The Native Americans played this game too." I nodded. "I guess I've seen that." "Not sure what else is still around. 800 years ago, they grew corn. Present day, we grow corn. What else?" "There are some mounds," I said. 800 years ago, there were so many mounds." He gestured wildly. "Little mounds, big as a house, big as a stadium, so big." "I'd like to see that," I said. "What were they for?" "Monuments, graves, temple sites, lots of different things," said Will. "Some of them have got to be here still. So, where can we find some mounds?" "We can look it up on our computer," I said. "Let's go ask Dad." We entered the house through the sliding glass door from the patio. Dad sat at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee, reading the news off his phone. "Hey, Dad, this is our friend Will," I said. "Is it okay if we look up some stuff on the computer for his homework?" "Homework?" Dad stood up. "In the summer?" "He's homeschooled," I said. "Hi, I'm Will," said Will. They shook hands and smiled. Dad with short brown hair, jean shorts, and a t-shirt. Skinny teenager Will with a head full of brown wavy hair, wearing his usual St. Louis Cardinals t-shirt and shorts. Both so significant in my life, now finally meeting each other. "And you live around here?" Dad asked. "Not far away," said Will. "I helped Jake and Ava find Nicky not long ago." Now that was a quest to remember. I chuckled to myself as I saw us chasing Martin the dog snatcher across 1500s Vienna and 1600s France. Will was 3 years
Sample complete. Ready to continue?